When the lights go up, the scene has changed to outside the castle. The set is the same as the earlier one, except that now the ground is covered with blue monkshood, aconite, and other flowers. The chrysanthemum bud at the top of the tower is on the point of bursting. The castle windows are lit with candles. In the foreground is a fire. Daughter, the hour is at hand when with the aid of fire I shall ascend again into the ether. This is what you call death, and approach with so much fear. Poet. Fear of the unknown. Which yet you know. Who knows it? Mankind. Why do you not believe your prophets? Prophets have never been believed. Why is that? If they truly speak with the voice of God, why then do men not believe? His power to convince should be irresistible. Have you always doubted? No. I have had my faith many times. But after a while it drifted away. Like a dream when one wakens. Daughter, to be mortal is not easy. You understand this now? Yes. Tell me. Did not Indra once send his own son down to earth to hear man's complaint? He did. And how was he received? How did he fulfill his mission? To answer with a question. To answer with another. Was not the state of mankind bettered by his visit to the earth? Answer truly. Bettered? Yes. A little. A very little. Now, instead of further questions, will you tell me the answer to the riddle? What purpose would that serve? You would not believe me. I shall believe you. Then I will tell you. In the dawn of time, before your sun gave light, Brahma, the divine primal force, let himself be seduced by Maya, the world mother, that he might propagate. This mingling of the divine element with the earthly was the fall from heaven. This world, its life and its inhabitants are therefore only a mirage, a reflection, a dream image. My dream. A true dream. But in order to be freed from the earthly element, the descendants of Brahma sought renunciation and suffering. And so you have suffering as the deliverer. But this yearning for suffering comes into conflict with the longing for joy, for love. Now you understand what love is. Supreme joy in the greatest suffering. The sweetest is the most bitter. Do you understand now what woman is? Woman, through whom sin and death entered into life? I understand. And the outcome? What you yourself know. Conflict between the pain of joy and the joy of pain. Between the anguish of the penitent and the pleasure of the sensual. And the conflict of opposites generates power. As fire and water create the force of steam, but peace. Rest. Hush. You must ask no more, nor may I answer. The altar is decked for the sacrifice. The flowers keep vigil. The candles are lighted. The white sheet hangs in the window. The threshold is strewn with pine. How calmly you speak. As if suffering did not exist for you. Not exist? I suffered all your sufferings, 100-fold, because my sensibilities were finer. Tell me your sorrows. Poet, could you tell your own with utter truth? Could your words ever once convey your thoughts? You are right. No. To myself I have always seemed a deaf mute. And while the crowd was acclaiming my song, to me it seemed a jangle. And so, you see, I was always ashamed when men paid me homage. And yet you wish me to speak? Look into my eyes. I cannot endure your gaze. How then will you endure my words if I speak in my own language? Even so, before you go, tell me from what you have suffered most down here. From living. From feeling my vision dimmed by having eyes. My hearing dulled by having ears, and my thoughts, my airy luminous thoughts, bound down in a labyrinth of fat. You have seen a brain. What twisting channels, what creeping ways. Yes. That is why the minds of the righteous are twisted. Cruel. Always cruel, each one of you. How can we be otherwise? Now first, I shake the dust from my feet, the earth, the clay. She takes off her shoes and puts them in the fire. One after another, the following characters come in, put their contributions on the fire, cross the stage, and go out, while the poet and the daughters stand watching. Doorkeeper. Perhaps I may burn my shawl too. Officer. And I my roses, of which only the thorns are left. Bill sticker. Posters can go, but my fishnet never. Glazier. Farewell to the diamond that opened the door. Lawyer. The report of the proceedings in the High Court touching the Pope's beard, or the diminishing water supply in the source of the Ganges. Quarantine master. A small contribution in the shape of the Black Mask, which turned me into a blackamoor against my will. Victoria. My beauty. My sorrow. Edith. My ugliness. My sorrow. Blind man, putting his hand in the fire. I give my hand, which is my sight. Don Juan is pushed in the bath chair, accompanied by the coquette and the friend. Don Juan. Make haste, life is short. Poet. I have heard that when a life is nearing its end, everything and everyone passes by in a single stream. Is this the end? For me, yes. Farewell. Say a parting word. No, I cannot. Do you think your language can express our thoughts? Enter the Dean of Theology, raging. I am disowned by God. I am persecuted by men. I am abandoned by the government and scorned by my colleagues. How can I have faith when no one else has faith? How can I defend a God who does not defend his own people? It's all bosh! He throws a book on the fire and goes out. The poet snatches the book from the flames. Do you know what this is? A book of martyrs. A calendar with a martyr for each day of the year. A martyr? Yes. One who is tortured and put to death for his faith. Tell me why. Do you believe all who are tortured suffer? All who are put to death feel pain? Surely suffering is redemption and death deliverance. Kristen enters with her paste and strips of paper. I paste till there's nothing left to paste. If heaven itself cracked open, you would try to paste it up. Go away! Are there no inner windows in the castle? No. None there. I'll go then. I'll go. Exit. As the daughter speaks her last lines, the flames rise until the castle is on fire. Parting time has come. The end draws near. Farewell, you child of man, dreamer, poet, who knows best the way to live. Above the earth on wings you hover, plunging at times to graze the dust, but not to be submerged. Now I am going. Now the hour has come to leave both friend and place. How sharp the loss of all I loved. How deep regret for all destroyed. And now I know the whole of living's pain. This, then, is to be a human being. Ever to miss the thing one never prized, and feel remorse for what one never did. To yearn, to go, yet long to stay. And so the human heart is split in two, emotions by wild horses torn, conflict, discord, and uncertainty. Farewell. Tell all on earth I shall remember them. Where I am going, and in your name, carry their lamentations to the throne. Farewell. She goes into the castle. Music is heard. The background is lighted up by the burning castle, and now shows a wall of human faces, questioning, mourning, despairing. While the castle is burning, the flower bed on the roof bursts into a giant chrysanthemum. Curtain. And that is the end of August Strindberg's A Dream play. I hope you liked it. It's one of my favorite plays because it battles existentialism in play format, and I love reading about anything that's philosophical and makes my mind really think. And I think especially when putting it into story format, any sort of theological, philosophical ideals can be much more impactful because you remember them in the context of the story. If you like what I do, please consider following, subscribing. I'm up on Spotify. I'm up on Patreon, as you all know. If you have any plays that you would like to send in and have me read, you can always do that by emailing me at bemuseartsinc@gmail.com. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And I hope to have you back in Brendan Moyer's Playwright Corner. Thank you.